This video was made possible with the help of Game Toppers. Upgrade your gaming experience with a Game Topper.
Hello chaps and chapettes, and thanks for joining me in this video where I'm going to be talking to you about this small game. It's not a small game, it's kind of a halfling of a game. It's Halflings Best Chef. Now, depending on when you watch this video, this game is either running on Kickstarter or has run on Kickstarter and is in pledge management, or is at your local game store so you can go and pick it up there. In this game, you are a halfling who has an inn in the Shire, but so do all the other players, and you want to be the most notable, reputable one there. So you are in a kind of battle against them. This is a dice placement game where players are going to be placing dice out in the markets to try and collect up the best ingredients or sauces or spices or even bottles of everybody's favorite drink, and then combine them together to complete these recipes and then become the most reputable innkeeper in the Shire. So before I show you, just a quick warning, this is a prototype version of the game, so what you see now may be different to what is actually available to you in your store or on the Kickstarter itself. So please take that in mind as I show you how to play Halflings Best Chef. Players start by taking a game board and the colour of their choice. They will take 3 of the 4 coloured dice allocated, and they will also take 2 coins to start. You can then choose a start player if you wish, and they will take the round tracker and start counting the rounds. You can then place the main board into the middle of the table and then take the 3 decks of recipe cards. They come in appetizers, the greens, that give them a shuffle, and then place them out. There's also the mains, and there's also the desserts. Next to the player board, you can place out the money, which comes in donations of 1s and 3s, the mixed spice tokens, the sauce tokens, and the disgruntled customer tokens. Also next to the board, place out the decorations. There should be 2 of each type of decoration in the game. Apart from when you're playing a 2-player game, then there are only 1. You then place all of the white ingredients tokens into the ingredients bag, all the green organic ingredients into the green organic ingredients bag, and then depending on the number of players playing, you will either add 1 bottle of each type to the bottle bag if you're playing 2 players, or 2 bottles of each type if you're playing with 3 players, and then obviously all of them if you're playing with all players. You'll then place some common ingredients into the market from the bag. You'll draw 1 per player plus 1. So in a 2-player game, you will draw 3. And then in the 3-player game, you will draw 4. And in a 4-player game, you will draw 5. Then do the same for the organic ingredients. For a 2-player game, you draw 1. But for a 3 or 4-player game, you draw 2. Then you'll draw 2 bottles for the wine merchant, no matter if there are 2 players, 3 players, or 4 players. Now with the setup out the way, let's go into the gameplay. The gameplay is very simple. For 12 rounds, players are going to be rolling all of their dice simultaneously and then using those results to go to locations, starting with the start player, who will then choose 1, possibly 2 of their dice and place them onto a location. The player on the left will then do the same, and it goes round the table until all players have exhausted all of their dice. Then we go to the resolution phase, where we will go through the Shire and do location by location to see what players will be doing in those locations. Then, after that's been done, the first player token is passed to the player on the left. They become the next first player, and we count round 2 and go again, rolling dice, placing dice, and then resolving the locations. So let's talk about the dice placement and the resolution of each of the spaces. And I'm going to do this in the order of the resolution phase, starting from the market to the spice merchant, to the caterer, to the forced sale, to the wine merchant, to the organic merchant store, to the decorator, to the master of sauces, and finally to the kitchen. So let's start by talking about the marketplace. In the marketplace, players can place a dice of a value on an allocated space marking the same value. This blocks other players from placing a dice in the market. Therefore, they would have to play a different value onto a different space. When it comes time to resolve this, it goes in order from 6 down to 1, meaning that the blue player here gets to choose one of the ingredients first. Each of these ingredients has a star value from 1 to 3, 3 being best because 3 stars is 3 points at the end of the game if used in a recipe, whereas 1 star is of course 1 star. So they are going to take this lovely 3-star fish. Which leaves the next player to take anything is the red player, and where they've played a 1 or a 2, you get to take 2 ingredients. So that's worked out pretty well for the red player. They're going to take the 3-star cheese and they're going to take a 2-star fish. Just quickly like to show you this example. If at any point in the game you are there to collect a resource, but there are none available because all the other players have taken them already, you unfortunately walk home empty-handed. At the spice market, you can place a die the value of 1 or 2. Again, this will block players who cannot use the same value of dice already placed. And in the resolution phase, you basically get to take 1 mixed spice. A mixed spice is basically a joker replacing any ingredient which is missing from your recipe. Now the caterer will take any dice of any value. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a 6 or it could be a 1. There's an additional space here, but that's only used for a 4-player game. And as you can see, this will give you money at the end when you resolve this. So if you've played a 5 or 6 or a 4, you get 2 coins. And if you've only played a 3, 2 or 1, you get 1 coin. Then we have the forced sale. Basically, you need to play 2 dice of the same value. Doesn't matter what value it is, they just have to be identical. This will allow you to take an ingredient from another player, but you will have to pay them 1 coin to do so. If you do not have that coin, you will unfortunately have to take a disgruntled token, which is -3 points at the end of the game. Then we have our wine merchant. When you place a dice here, you place it at the bottom, and if anyone else wishes to place a bid at the wine merchant, they have to play a dice of the same value or higher into the next space. A lower value will not count. Then what will happen is at the resolution phase, from top to bottom, each player will then get to take a bottle. So the yellow player would take a bottle and they'd have to pay 2 money to do so, as indicated. Then the red player chooses a bottle and takes 2 money as well. And the green player has no bottles to take, so therefore goes home empty-handed. If there was a bottle available, but you did not have the money to pay for it, you would then have to take a disgruntled token. At the organic store, you can place any die value of 4 or 3. Again, if you have a dice there, it will block other players from going there. When it comes time to resolve this space, you basically have to pay a coin to take the resource of your choice. And these resources normally come in a value of 3 and 4, which are the highest in the game. If you cannot pay for the resources because you have no money, you get a disgruntled token. The decorator will take any die value of 2 or 1. When this comes to being resolved, A player will then be allowed to buy a decoration from those available. If they do not have the money to pay for them, they basically take another disgruntled token. Here are the decorations and what they do. You have this sail decoration, which costs 2, but it will allow you to buy other decorations on future turns for 2 coins less. There is this decoration, which for 4 coins will allow you to score 2 points for every decoration you have at the end of the game. There is this marketplace decoration, which will allow you to pick up an extra ingredient whenever you go to the market. This ingredient will come from the bag and not from what's on display. For 5 coins, you can get this spicy decoration, which will give you 2 points for every spice used in a recipe. For 5 coins, you can buy this lovely chef's hat, which will give you 2 points for every recipe that you've created. For 6 coins, you can be a master showman, and this will allow you to place a dice on top of any existing dice on the board, therefore breaking the rule of 1 die per space. And then finally, for 10 coins, you can buy this automatron robot, which will help you in the kitchen. Basically, it gives you a 4th dice, so you'll be rolling 4 dice from now on. Then we have the master saucer. Basically, any number of dice can go here, and it doesn't matter what value it is, everybody can go to the master saucer and get some sauce. Each token will, on a future turn, allow a player to adjust the value of one of their dice by either 1 up or 1 down. In the case of a 1, you can transform a 1 into a 6, and of course a 6 into a 1. Then finally, we have the kitchen. A player can place a dice into the kitchen, so they will then be able to cook one of the 3 available recipes. A player can overcut that player by placing 2 dice, any value, in the kitchen, which means that they will get first pick of completing one of the recipes. If you cannot complete one of the recipes, guess what? You take a disgruntled customer token. To complete a recipe, you need the ingredients listed upon it. Upon having the ingredients, you take that card, place this recipe next to your player board, and then place the ingredients from your reserve onto this card. These will score you points at the end of the game. As you can see, there's a nice 3-pointer fruit, there's a 2-pointer veg, there's a 3-pointer fish, and I don't have any meat, but there's some mixed spice. Each recipe has its own money value. Upon completion, you collect this amount of money and add it to your reserve. Talking of your reserve, your player board. Basically, everything will go onto your player board. So all the ingredients you collect, the normal ingredients go into your pantry, reserve. Your organic ingredients will go in there. Any mixed spices, maybe your sauce, and possibly your disgruntled customers. Any money you collect will go into your little cough. If you start collecting wine, start adding it to your cellar and place it always to the left of the board. If you ever get the same wine that you already have, you place this on top, and this will only give you an extra point. And then of course there are 4 slots down here for decorations. You can only hold 4 decorations, and you can never own the same one twice. After 12 rounds, you'll get out the score pad and calculate your scores. Very simply, you'll score points for all of the ingredients that you used in a recipe. For example, this meal here gives us 4 points from the 4 stars, nothing for the chili pepper mixed spice. Whereas this one here will give us a 4, 8, 10, 11 points for all its ingredients. You will score a bonus 2 points if you have a matching wine which goes very well with one of the meals. In this example, I'd completed these 3 meals, and I have this bottle here which will score me 2 points, 4 points because they complement these starters, these appetizers, and this which will give us another 2 points, so 6 in total. You will score 5 points for each set of appetizer, the main and the dessert. If I had completed this 6 That would give me 10 points. You will score for the wine in your cellar, plus 1 point if you have the same wine twice. So here, for my bottles in my cellar, I would score 6 points, but plus 1 because I have 2 of those. You will score for your decoration cards. These 3 decorations score you points. So this would score me 2 points for every decoration that I have, in this case 3, so 6 points. This would score me 2 points for every recipe I've completed, and this will score you 2 points for every spice used in a recipe. You'll score 1 point for every 3 ingredients which are still in your pantry, 1 point for every 3 coins that you have in your safe, and you'll also score 1 point per sauce if you have any remaining in your pantry as well. And then minus 3 points for every disgruntled customer that's walked into your doorway. And there you go. Now you know the rules to Halfling Best Chef. But how will you be the best chef playing this game? Will you be the devious one that looks at the other players' dice and decides, you know what, I'm going to go in that space and block you from going in there? Or are you going to be that chef which creates all these wonderful 3-course meals? Or are you going to be the chef that just collects bottles because maybe one day you will make something which will accompany it? Or maybe you'll be the chef that has the most decorative, beautiful tavern in the whole of the Shire. There are all these different ways to play this game, and if this game interests you, there are some links in the notes below taking you to the Kickstarter and the publisher's website. You can also ask me any questions about the game that you wish by leaving a comment in the comment sections, and I will get back to them as soon as possible. And for everything else, just like the video if you like the video, or share it with someone if you know that someone might appreciate this game. So I'll just quickly remind you, this that you've seen is a prototype, and you may have noticed that yes, it's in French, but it will be in English when the Kickstarter launches. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and please remember to play nicely with each other. It is only a game.
Just sitting at the